Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Davis,
Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon,
Steph Curry, Shea, Jokic, Wemby, Cade Cunningham, Banchero, Jalen Brunson,
Jaylen Brown,
Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton,
Rudy Gobert, Jamal Murray, Ant,
Luka, Austin Reeves, JJ Barea, LeBron James,
Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Kareem, and yes, LeBron
James,
Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan's is Michael Jordan,
LeBron James,
LeBron James, LeBron James.
Sold! C-A-U-P-O-P!
Episode 39. 39.
Here we go.
We're getting closer and closer to Dirk's number. It's going to be a good day.
It's going to be a great day. What a great day. Top 10 NBA player all time right there. Dirk Nowitzki. You want to take a guess about who number 39 is?
I have 0 guesses for 39.
That's because it was one Dwight Howard on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Dwight Howard wore 39 on the Los Angeles
Mr.
Lakers.
Giant Shoulders. Yeah, he's got freaking bowling balls on his shoulders. He just got some massive, whatever muscle that is. In that
Hall of
area.
Famer, right? Dwight's a Hall of Famer. Champion. Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
right?
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's got to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's got to be.
That run on the Magic, that was...
I mean, he did beat LeBron. He was one of the few teams
he did
that beat LeBron.
In the East.
Beat
LeBron in the East, which is a feat.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah, because it's hard to do. Dwight Howard did not win Rookie of the Year his rookie year. But you want to know who did win Rookie of the Year?
Cooper Flag.
I pledge allegiance. Cooper Flag, 2026, well, I guess 25-26, NBA Rookie of the Year. We told y'all it wasn't a race. We tried to convince you that the voters and the former NBA players are idiots, and we were right because Cooper Flag won the Rookie of the Year award for the NBA.
And it gives us Mavs fans just a little something to be happy about, you know.
That's what I was about to say.
Because
Yep.
it's been a bit.
Yep.
It's been a little bit, and this season has been, other than Cooper Flag's like ascension and you know him being, you know, us finding out that he has a future in the league, like he's going to be a star one day, is there's not a lot of upside for the Mavs at the moment. So
yeah, it's a small light in a dark world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Flag winning Rookie of the Year. It does give hope to MFFLs around the world, because our hope was dwindling, and now we have luck to look forward to again, Lady Luck, because the NBA draft will be coming up at some point, and because the Mavs suck again, they have a chance to get a good draft pick. So we'll see if the NBA is really rigged or not. We talked about it was probably rigged about this time last year,
right? Which I'm fine with. Call it the basketball gods. You can call it rigged. Either way, we got the Rookie of the Year, baby.
Yeah, either way, we got Cooper Flag. Yeah.
You can call it Nico's vision if you want. I don't care.
Yeah. What a great vision there, Nico. Screw the NBA Finals the year before. Let's tank and get Cooper Flag. But anyway, I pledge allegiance
what can you
to
say?
the flag.
What can you say besides fortune favors the bold? You know.
Yeah. I could say a lot, and I have said a lot, but I'll let the listeners go back and listen if they want to those episodes. There are lots of events in the sports world. There are right now for sure. Lots of things going on. NBA playoffs are going on. MLB has started. The NFL draft just happened. The WNBA draft, hockey playoffs is going on. Like there's a lot of things that are happening right now in our sports world. I'm going to ask you, and then we can discuss a little bit. What do you think are the most overrated events in sports? Things that people talk about and hype up, and it's even aired on TV, but it just doesn't maybe it just doesn't interest you and it interests a bunch of other people, or it's just like, why is this even on sports? I mean, why is this even on TV? They're trying to force this, force us to watch this, and nobody even cares about it. I've got some thoughts, but I wanted to see if you had any overrated events on your
Yeah.
mind.
Off the top of my head, since we're talking about the NBA, um, the media is always hyping up All-Star Weekend and All-Star, especially the All-Star game, like the 3-point challenge and the dunk contest are always. I mean, I might tune in, but the dunk contest, no one of note has been in it for a while. I don't know that I've really paid attention or enjoyed one since the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon era, which has been a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
So All-Star, I mean, the All-Star game's an absolute joke. Nobody cares. I mean, it's like the Pro Bowl in the NFL. I mean, nobody cares. It's a joke. I think here's what I really think. If they just did away with the All-Star game because it's stupid, and maybe had like some one-on-one competitions, two-on-two you know what I mean? Like something like that, to where it's like King of the Court style with NBA players. I think people would tune in to watch that, you know? But yeah, I mean, the All-Star game is just, it's to promote the league, and it's so the guys can get a rest, but it's a waste of time. And
yeah.
I
And
think
I
I think
will
there are ways
say,
to make it more fun and maybe a little more competitive, and make the stars want to actually like join in or something, you know?
yeah. Well, and I will say they have tried here in the past few years. They have revamped the rules and how to win the All Star game. Um, but yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, I don't tune into All Star Weekend really at all. I'll
No.
see like highlights on social media,
Yeah.
but other than that, I'm not like, I don't know. Maybe it's because there wasn't a Mav this year in the All Star game. It didn't really
And maybe it's something
intrigue
that's like
me.
more, because I was a lot more interested in it when I was a kid or a
Yeah,
teenager. Like when people that were exciting to watch to me were playing, and it was less of a goof fest and more like, whoa, look at these guys, you know.
yeah.
But
The
yeah.
NBA is in a weird spot right now because we're in an era shift. We're removing ourselves from the LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry era, and
Mhm.
we're kind of moving into the new. I don't even know, like Shea. You got
OKC Spurs
Jokic,
era.
yeah,
Jokic
Wemby,
era, yeah.
Flag, Luca, like though Ant, those guys. Then in the East, like newer guys, Cade Cunningham, Bankero on the Magic, um, Jalen Brunson, those kind of guys. So, yeah, the NBA is in a weird spot right now. I've got one for you, and it just happened.
Okay.
I absolutely do not understand the hype behind the NFL draft.
I see.
I think it is one of the most overrated, overhyped, over talked about things in sports. It had to be like, I'm not joking. It had to be a month straight of, if I'm listening to talk radio, like sports talk radio, or if I'm listening, or if I turn on ESPN, like early in the morning, get up, first take, they are talking about potential draft picks for months in advance. Who this team might pick, who this team should pick. They might trade up, they might trade down to get a good, like, why are we talking about this a month in advance? Then you get into the week of the NFL draft and you turn on ESPN and there's a literal countdown of how long it is, like takes up like half the screen of how long it is until the NFL draft. I think 72 hours. I think they started at 72 hours and it counted down until the start of the NFL draft. And it I'm not joking, it literally took up half the screen. And then at the bottom, it was like a continuous running, like usually at the bottom they have scores like of games that have
Yeah.
happened and things like that. But at the bottom of when it was the NFL draft part, it was like scrolling each team's needs and what they should draft, what they could draft, the potential, like the best rankings of each position player. I mean, I'm not joking. It was probably a month straight of NFL draft talk, and I just don't. Maybe it's just because I'm not a big NFL guy, but
Yeah. I was
the
thinking, yeah,
NFL draft is insanely overrated to me.
I get that, and it's also, like because I feel like the NFL is so much more like, NBA draft, you're drafting like, the top 10 guys are stars in
Yeah,
college, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
when you draft somebody in the NFL, the team is drafting a position that they need, like, they could be taking a lineman first, nothing against linemen, but that's not a it's not a sexy position, it's not one that,
right.
like, people are gonna tune in to watch alignment, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
the general public cares about receivers and quarterbacks, and
yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Well, and like it was hosted in Pittsburgh this year, and the day of the draft, there were 300,000 people that attended the NFL draft. Like that's
300,000?
300,000 people attended the NFL draft, and all to hear a person's name called for your team. I just don't like if you're not a Pittsburgh, if you don't live in Pittsburgh, I don't understand going to the NFL draft at
Yeah,
all.
I'm right.
I just think it's so overrated. If anybody is understands why they do this for the and apparently it works because it happens every year. I mean, they talk about the NFL draft for a while every single year because it hacks me off every year. But yeah, it's insanely overrated in my opinion. But
Hmm,
anyway,
that's fair
end of
enough, yeah.
rant for NFL draft. Um, well, you know it's not overrated?
What would that be?
The NBA playoffs.
That's right, baby.
They're
NBA
in the middle.
playoffs.
Yep, middle of the first round going on right now. Some good matchups going on. We're gonna kind of go over some of those things.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be super honest with you.
okay.
I think I have become a casual NBA fan. I used to be a diehard NBA. I could name just about every player on, especially the Mavs, but I could name 5 to 10 players on every team, mostly because I played 2K a lot and that
Yeah.
helped.
Mhm.
But I think I'm a casual NBA fan, and I think I'm okay with it. I'm I'm not sad that I'm not super invested in the NBA playoffs this year. Um, I've watched a little bit. I haven't sat down and watched a whole single game. I've seen highlights. I actually did watch some highlights like on YouTube just to kind of prepare for this episode. But I haven't sat down and watched an entire game. So you can take my opinion for what it's worth, listeners, for when we talk about it. But like I said, the NBA is in a weird place right now. And I think it's hard to get invested unless it's the Mavs. And the Mavs are just not good. And so I'm just not super invested in the NBA right now. And maybe I should be. Maybe it's good basketball that I'm just missing out on. But I don't know.
Well,
I'm
I
just
mean,
not
I
super
think
invested.
a lot of the problem with I mean, this like I said, I've been enjoying these playoffs, and I've caught a few games, and I do listen to, like, podcasts the next day, just, like, getting updates and watching some clips on YouTube and things like that, like you said, but, I think part of the problem with actually catching games live is that they're just so late. Like, I don't know who's staying up this late to watch games, especially, like, if you live, you know, if you live on the West Coast, how do you catch an East Coast games? Like, it's just it's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not catching them. That's
Right.
how. E
But this first round has had some pretty good matchups, a pretty weird series, I feel like, that are happening. Some unexpected things are going on. Uh, I mean, the biggest story I kinda wanna jump right into is honestly the the Lakers and the
Oh,
Houston
man.
series. My goodness. Did anyone
Yeah.
I mean, Houston was such a heavy favorite going into this series. No Luka, no Austin Reeves for LA, and the Lakers are up 3-1. And they were up 3-0,
Mhm.
which is it's a crazy it's one of the craziest things to happen in the NBA in a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, who do you have winning the finals? Let's talk about that.
I have I have OKC. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like OKC, but I think
Yeah.
they're the most well-oiled team. I think Shea is gonna get what he wants because he knows how to get to the free throw line. He knows how to manipulate those refs, and he knows how to get what he wants, and he's a really good basketball player.
Yeah.
He's coming off an MVP. I just think it's kinda his league right now, whether you like it or not. Some weird stuff going on with Denver. I actually probably have San Antonio. At least I had them. I know, the Spurs just won the first series against Portland 4-1. They took
Mhm.
care of business pretty easily, and they had one game without Wemby, um, and they were still able to take care of business. 1.5 games without Wemby. I think he went down in, like, the second quarter of one of those games, but, concussion protocol, because when you're 7'7", any fall is just way
Yeah.
down there.
You
It's a
can't
long
control your
fall.
body on the way down. Yeah. No.
No. So I had Oklahoma City and San Antonio and Boston. I know those. That's probably all I'm sure Vegas had Oklahoma City and San Antonio and Boston as
Yeah.
well, but I think they're clearly just the best 3 teams in the league. I think the Oklahoma City and San Antonio series, um, is going to be an interesting one.
It's gonna be good. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a
That
lot
might
of
be
fun.
when I tune in.
That might end up people saying like, "Oh, like that was the real finals," and then whoever they
Yeah.
might take care of business against Boston. But I don't know because when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are on, they might be the best duo in the league.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting stuff going on in the playoffs. But like I said, I think Oklahoma City is just a little too much for the rest of these teams right now, and I think what we're entering, you were talking about what the NBA is moving away from, and what we're entering into is possibly the like OKC. I would say like the OKC and Wemby era. Does that make sense? So OKC is kind of going to be that super team. OKC's got kind of going to be the Warriors, and then we got Wemby in that LeBron role where like he's dominating the league by himself, but the Warriors are like clearly the best team. So I think that's kind of what we're going to start seeing.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, like I said, I haven't watched a ton, but the Thunder are the Thunder. They're legit. They were legit last year. We talked about that on an episode earlier on about like how historic their championship run was last year. Um, and I think they're on pace to do it again. The interesting thing about the Celtics is Jason Tatum just came back because he's been out all year because he tore his Achilles late in the season last year, and so
And
he's just now
he's
back.
been phenomenal
Yeah, and he's been
in this
really good
series.
since he came back.
Yeah.
So that could be an interesting, not necessarily a dark horse because they're the Boston Celtics, but that could be an interesting dark horse about who could upset the Thunder maybe
Yeah.
in the NBA Finals.
I
Like the Thunder had a historic year last year, and they barely won in 7 without Tyrese Halliburton in Game 7, their best player. So you just never know what's going to happen.
No, I want to talk a little bit about Denver and Minnesota because that's
Yeah.
been a strange series. Here's what I want to do because I've been a Rudy Gobert hater for
I
a
knew
little
you were
bit
going to bring up Rudy Gobert.
because
Yeah.
there's nothing I liked more when Luka was on the Mavs and watching him just cook Rudy Gobert in the
Yep.
playoffs. It
Yep.
was so much fun to watch,
Yep.
and he was fun to have Rudy as a rival. But I got to give Rudy his flowers because he has been able to shut down what many people consider to be the best player in the league, or if not, and definitely the top 2 in MVP votes. Um, so he's the Joker stopper. He has been this playoff series, and he deserves. I mean, he's proven why he's been the defensive player of the year twice. So shout out to Rudy. And this Denver Minnesota series is a little weird. Joker has had a lot of issues getting stuff going against Rudy. Jamal Murray has had some issues getting his offense going, but Ant is, I think, down for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
He
I
came
mean, a couple
down.
of weeks. It said a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so that could flip the thing on its head. Who knows? All the Nuggets have to do is win 2 more games in a row,
Mhm.
and and then there we go. So I don't know. I really don't know. Denver and Minnesota could still be up in the air. Minnesota is looking, I mean, without Ant, they're pretty scrappy on offense. So it's going to be an interesting series now, especially with Joker on the other end. I mean, you never know when he's going to be able, when he can turn it on. And I mean, they're the 3 seed. They were the favorites going into this series. So, and now Ant's down. So I don't know. Denver and Minnesota has been maybe one of the most interesting series this first round. It's been pretty crazy, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the Lakers and Rockets, and while you were mentioning the Lakers and Rockets, you said something about how the Lakers were missing Luka and they were missing Austin Reeves, but you seem to forget one man that plays on the Lakers that since he's been in the league is someone you can depend on every single playoff game, well, some people are going to fact check me on that because JJ Barea locked him down in 2011.
Just
But
LeBron Clamper.
yeah, every single playoff game, every single playoff series, every year, this man has shown up and he has delivered. And he is now 41 years old and is still the best player on the floor night in and night out right now in the playoffs. And that is one LeBron James. And it is so impressive, once again, that he's still doing this because for a multitude of reasons, obviously, but we just keep waiting for him to stop.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't done that. Like last game, he finally had a game where he was like, okay, that wasn't very good. And he's 41 years old. He had like 10 points or something like that and like 8 turnovers maybe. But before that, he's the best player on the team. He's got 13 assists one game. He leads the team in points. He's doing what LeBron does, and he is making everybody around him a better basketball player. Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, DeAndre Ayton, the Rui Hachimura guy, like these are all role players, and he is about to take them to the second round of the NBA playoffs. Now, I understand that the Rockets aren't playing very good and Kevin Durant's been out, but what LeBron is doing with this team is it shouldn't be shocking, but it's shocking because he's 41 years old and he's still doing what LeBron does, and it's freaking awesome.
It is freaking awesome. It's crazy to witness what he's doing at his age. I mean, he's been ridiculous. Like you said, he's elevating Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard and making them look like all-stars.
Yep.
It's been impressive what the Lakers have done. It's almost been more impressive to watch the downfall of Houston and just the utter collapse of their team. And I mean, I don't want to point just all fingers at Kevin Durant, but these last couple years, I mean, Kevin Durant is too good of a player to be to hop around on this many teams, I think. And he seems to be kind of the team chemistry killer, kind of where he's been in the last, on the Suns. That was pretty hideous. Everything blew up in Brooklyn. Now in Houston, it doesn't seem like any of his teammates really respond to his leadership. I'm not so sure that he is much of a leader.
I don't think he's a leader.
He's a great basketball player. Obviously, people put him in their top 15. That's fine. He's great. And he's one of the most, certainly might be top 5 most skilled, just pure skilled offensive players the game's ever seen. And every once in a while he can still put on a show like he used to be able to do. But I mean, this Houston team has just collapsed. I mean, it's just broken. Every single pillar is down, and but I think this series is over. So they can start looking towards whatever else.
So what LeBron has done with his performance in this playoff series, if you can believe it or not, is he has reignited the LeBron-Jordan debate, the never-ending debate of LeBron versus Jordan.
The
And
most tired debate in ESPN history.
It is ridiculous that we are still talking about it. And
Right.
in my opinion, it once again shows the greatness of LeBron, because we've been having this debate for it's been like 13 or 14 years we've been discussing LeBron versus Jordan. And he's now 41 years old. And not because it's just like we have nothing to talk about, let's just reignite this. No, they're talking about it because of what he's doing on the court.
Right.
And it is that impressive. So back in episode 6, we discussed our top 10 players in NBA history. And we got down to our final 2 players. And so I just want to play a clip from that episode. And I want to see if we're still on the same page, or if we'd like to kind of change what one of us thinks. Because one of us is right and one of us is wrong. And so I want you and I want the listeners to hear this clip and just be reminded of what happened on episode 6. So let's play this.
In no particular order, our top 2 players of all time are LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Typically, the older generation prefer Michael Jordan at number 1. Typically, the younger generation goes with LeBron James. LeBron's longevity, he's played just as long, but he hasn't fallen off. And we just keep waiting for that to happen. And that has yet to happen.
His longevity in his career, second to none. 20-plus seasons of elite production. He still hasn't fallen off, which as a 40-year-old is crazy. Never been done before. People need to wake up and realize how lucky that we've been to have that kind of player. I can't say enough about LeBron. So with that, would you like to go ahead and reveal your 1 and 2?
I have LeBron James as my greatest basketball player of all time.
My number 1 is Michael Jordan. I can't put LeBron over him. I don't have any problem with you having LeBron at number 1. I mean, and he can't do anything, like what else can LeBron do to put him there? I don't know.
What else can LeBron do? I don't know. Well, let me give you some things that he could do. At 41 years old, he could lead the team that he's on could lose their 2 best players. The highest scoring duo in the NBA. His team could lose that.
Right.
And he could step into the role of, I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to be the best player on the floor. And I'm going to lead this team to the second round of the playoffs and give my team a chance at the number 1 seed defending NBA champions. That's what he can do. And guess what? He's done it. And it has reignited the LeBron versus Jordan debate. Stephen A. Smith, our boy, was talking about it on ESPN yesterday, I think. And he was talking about it. And there was another article posted on the ESPN app. But once again, the fact that we are still having this talk shows LeBron's greatness, and the fact that he's 41 years old and is still doing what he's doing on a nightly basis. And I still believe he is the greatest basketball player to ever play.
Here's the deal. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not gonna make a case against LeBron because
it's not possible.
Everyone in the media had. They all have their cases. There's a lot of people that think that Michael Jordan's the GOAT for good reason, and they have made their cases against LeBron. They can talk about the 2011 NBA Finals where he got clamped up by JJ Barea. But here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to focus more on my case for his airness, for the GOAT, Mike.
Okay.
MJ, Michael Jordan. So, and it kind of starts with, I mean, the greatest of all time is so up in the air. Like, how do you define that? You know what I mean? I think it's not necessarily like LeBron has the longevity award. Okay. Greatest career in basketball. If you want to say LeBron, that's fine. If you want to put Kareem too, sure. Okay. But, I'm thinking the greatest of all time is more to me the highest sustained level of just dominating an era. of basketball dominance. All right. And yes, LeBron represents the most complete and enduring career in NBA history. But I think Michael Jordan's peak performance, his championship conversion, his two-way excellence, and just his total control over his competitive era. Okay, because it's hard to compare eras. All right, it's hard to compare players from different eras. It's something that Michael Jordan's talked about in the past. He doesn't believe there's a GOAT because he doesn't like comparing eras. I kind of agree with him, but if I have to make the case for somebody, I'm going to make the case for him. And I think that, like I said, his total control over his era is makes him the greatest player the sport has ever seen. So again, greatness measured by peak dominance. Okay, the period in which a player most decisively separates himself from all his other fellow NBA players, all the contemporaries. Okay, while converting performance into championships. And I'm gonna make that case as well, of course, because when you're defending Michael Jordan, you have to talk about championships. You have to talk about the perfect finals record. So,
but that's it.
Here's some things.
You don't have to talk about the rest of his playoff performances. Only his championship.
His peak statistical dominant. Michael Jordan at his peak, I think, is the best basketball player we've ever seen. He's at his peak. He averaged 30 points per game, which is the highest all time. 33 playoff points per game, which is the highest all time. You can say it. 10 scoring titles. He has, I think his PER is maybe the same as LeBron's, maybe a little above it. I'd have to look that up, but Jordan separated himself from the league. All right. It was clearly Jordan's era. All right. I think people in the media, when they were talking about LeBron's domination over these last, what I would consider the LeBron era, I think there were a lot of cases for Kevin Durant being the best player in the world at certain points in time, for Steph Curry being the most impactful player during the LeBron era. So there's certain things during LeBron's era that kind of take it away from him. But like I said, I don't want to take too much away from LeBron because he's the best basketball player I grew up with. You know what I mean? So it's hard to argue against him. Championships, obviously, you have to talk about the 6 championships in 6 finals. And yes, that is 100% conversion rate, with no exceptions. Never required a game 7, just beat everybody. Of course, LeBron, 4 championships. He's been to 10. That's impressive. But his record's 4-6. LeBron's is 6-6. Excuse me. His record's 4-6. Michael Jordan's is 6-0. So, two-way dominance. Mike won Defensive Player of the Year. A lot of people can say, "Oh, LeBron should have won it when Marc Gasol won it." Yeah, okay. Obviously, wasn't clear cut enough for him to win it that year. So, whatever you want to say, that's fine. Maybe he should have won the MVP over Derrick Rose or whatever. You can argue those things, but he didn't. And this is what I'm talking about in the LeBron era. It's a little different. I don't know if people got voting fatigue or what. I'm not going to take anything away from LeBron because no one's saying that he wasn't the best player in the year that D Rose won MVP. You know what I mean? No one's saying that he shouldn't have, that he wasn't, I don't know, the best defensive player in the league. But I don't know. Marc Gasol won it. So anyway, Michael Jordan was the defensive player of the year in, I think, 1988. He had 9 all defensive first teams. I think people would put him as a better defender than LeBron. I don't know. It's up for debate. LeBron does have the signature chase down block, but Michael has the accolades on defense, I would say. And then the era domination, like I said, they both, when we're talking about GOATs, they both have this. But, there's just He won 6 titles in 8 active seasons. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean,
really 6 and 6 active seasons because he wasn't active the other 2. So
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he came back, got beat by the Magic in the East Finals, I think, or something like that, or round 2 maybe. But I mean, it was his first year back from baseball, so whatever. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I just think that he's got the original Mamba mentality. I mean, Mike's a killer.
Oh, here we go.
He's got the Mamba mentality, baby.
Whatever that is.
And I think that he's I don't know, man. I think he's got aura around him. He's got the it factor. When you walk on the court, that's just you look at Jordan and he's just the best. I mean, he's just the best. And there's something it's hard to describe, and it's not hard to describe. He passes the eye test.
It's hard to describe because it's not a fact. Opinions are hard to describe. Facts and numbers are not hard to describe.
Okay, well, how about 6-0 in the finals? That's a number.
Are you done? Because I've got some numbers for you.
Okay, well, I think.
So you're sticking with your opinion.
I'm sticking with my opinion. I think it's inevitable. I think that Mike is the best player of all time.
Just nothing anybody can do.
No.
Not changing my mind no matter what because he went 6-0.
Maybe
that's the only reason.
I don't know. Maybe Wemby can come in and become the GOAT of all time. I'm not sure, but for now, I don't think. Like I said, LeBron, most complete player we've ever seen. I'll give you that. But they have different. They have such different games. I think Michael Jordan just dominated people, unlike anyone has ever dominated people in the NBA. I just think that's a fact. In my opinion, that's a fact. Yeah. So I mean, it'll always be Mike for me. It's just
that's unfortunate.
It's just something about him.
I didn't know you were such a closed-minded human being. It'll always be Mike for me. Doesn't matter what anybody does.
Wemby's got a chance, but
I'm going to read you some stats. Your time is up. If I had a buzzer, I would be pressing it because your time is up. There's enough glazing of
do what you can.
Addict.
Do what you can.
All right. Playoff wins without a teammate being on an all-star, all-NBA, or all-defensive team. So one of those 3 things.
Okay.
Kevin Durant has 5 playoff wins without that. Steph Curry, 6. Michael Jordan, 14. Kobe Bryant, 18.
Okay.
LeBron James, 55.
See, here's the thing.
Statistic number 1. No,
you're going to keep talking about these stats, and these are longevity stats.
That's your buzzer.
These are longevity stats.
It shows what I think it shows is everybody always talks about, and once again, this has nothing to do with basketball ability, and I said this in episode 6. Everybody always talks about LeBron had more help. Okay, I'm reading you stats that says otherwise. Okay, here's another one. In 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Pretty solid stat line for an NBA player. The most 25, 5 and 5 playoff games. Okay, Michael Jordan had 73 in his career. Okay, where he scored 25, 5 and 5 in the playoffs, where, like you said, he's the all-time leading scorer in terms of per game, right? Well, before LeBron turned 30, remember, Michael Jordan had 73 in his career. Before LeBron turned 30, he had 75. After LeBron turned 30, he had 80. So there's some more numbers.
Okay.
Most playoff wins. Now, yes, this is a longevity stat, but who cares? That's a big factor. The fact that he's still doing this.
Like I said, I think LeBron has the best career.
Yeah.
But is
most
he the
playoff
best
wins since 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So the past, how long is that? 31 years?
Yeah.
Like, he's only been in the league since 2003. So this is 8 years before LeBron got in the league. Most playoff wins since 1995. Tim Duncan, 157. Boston Celtics, the Boston Celtics, 158. The Miami Heat, and Derek Fisher, 161. The Lakers, 172. The Spurs, 184. And most playoff wins since 1995, LeBron James. One guy. Not a team, LeBron James.
Right.
Once again, you said it, and we need to get off of this because it's not going to be settled. But I'm going to keep talking about it.
Uh-huh.
It all depends on what you think the greatest player is. Now, you think, and like I said, it all depends on what you think. You think his greatness and his NBA Finals record, his points per game in the playoffs, and his defensive ability is what makes him the greatest. Rightfully so. Probably, not probably. He's a better scorer than LeBron. I could argue only because LeBron is a pass-first guy, and LeBron even says that in his most recent interview.
He is.
A better defender, and I don't think there's really probably any debate with that Michael Jordan is a better defender. But what LeBron does to his teammates and how he makes the team around him better, the lack of help that he had and still continued to succeed at the level that he succeeded in terms of making the finals, however many years in a row he did. And I think his basketball IQ is better. I think he's a better rebounder. I think he's a better passer. Once again, I said this in episode 6, and then we're going to be done. But I think non-court, non-basketball ability, non-skill attributes are what people like about Jordan and what they don't like about LeBron. The Mamba mentality, the fact that he was 6-0 in the finals. Like 6-0 in the finals is extremely impressive, but that's 6 years. That's only 6 years of the career. Like LeBron has been doing this for 23 years. If we took his best 6 years, it definitely isn't 6 in a row, but if you just pick and choose his best 6 years, it would be up there with Michael Jordan's best 6 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jordan has such a weird career too, because like he wins a three-peat and then just retires in his prime to go play baseball for some inexplicable reason. I mean, I understand he had his reasons, but he does that and he comes back, wins another three-peat, and then retires again on top of the league. Like it's such a weird, like perfect little like Michael Jordan storm that happened over that stretch from when time he won his first championship to the time he retires again, and then of course comes back for the Wizards and nothing. No one talks about that, but
and once again, I wasn't alive and I haven't watched, and that's the reason. Go back to episode 6. That's the reason I chose LeBron, because that's the guy that I've watched more. But I think Michael Jordan had a uncomparable, indisputable best 6 years in the NBA history for one guy. Every other year, I think is on par or below LeBron James. I think his 6 finals, the 92 to 95 or whatever it was, and then 97 to 99 or whatever, those 6 finals that he won are the best 6 years for a basketball player in NBA history. But every other year, I don't think so. And that's another longevity debate maybe, but you're sticking with Jordan, I'm sticking with LeBron. We just spent 30 minutes discussing it and we're not changing our minds. So
like I said, I'm going down to peak. I don't argue that LeBron's the best young player ever and the best old player ever. He has that. It's just a question of who was better in their primes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Jordan had a better 6 years.
I'm going to go with Jordan. Better 6 years right there.
Yeah.
Who's the more iconic 23? I'll put that in the comments, everybody.
There you go. Who is the number 23? I will agree with that. That's Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Top 5 sports venues that you want to go to. we have finally reached our main event. 50. We were finally at what we actually need to talk about.
This is the sports extravaganza episode, baby.
Yeah, this is yada yada to a T right here. So
I'm ready to get into these. I don't have any honorable mentions. So.
Okay, I got one. For all you listeners, we're going top 5 sports venues that we haven't been to, obviously that we want to go to. Okay, so if we've been, then it's not on the list. Now, we live in Podunk, Texas, where there's not a lot of sports venues other than Cowboys Stadium, Rangers Ballpark, and American Airlines Center where the Mavs and the Stars play. So we've been there a bunch of times. AT&T Stadium might be on a bunch of people's lists just because it's such a massive stadium and it is pretty impressive, but it's not going to be on ours because we have been there. So my honorable mention, the only honorable mention I have is the Sphere in Las Vegas. I am hoping to go to Las Vegas at some point and maybe visit that. But that was my only honorable mention. So you want to start with your number 5?
I do, yeah. So my number 5, I was kind of thinking about, when I was thinking about these, obviously I wanted to, if it's, if I get a chance to go to a venue, sports venue, then I want to go somewhere that, I've never been. I want to kind of make a vacation out of it. And so for my number 5, I chose Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. I can't say it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
You can't say it in a Boston accent.
No, or just regularly.
Yeah. But you can't spell it either.
No. But yeah, Fenway Park. It's the oldest stadium in the MLB. Is opened in 1912. Like I said, it's in Boston. It's the home of the Red Sox. It's got the green monster, it's kind of like one of those living history things in the United States. Like, you got to go see a game in Fenway Park. Like, that's one of the most American things you can do, So it's kind of my that'd be a dream of mine for as far as sports go, to go watch the Red Sox play and maybe drink a Samuel Adams or something while it's happening. That'd be good stuff. As far as I tried to get some extra sauce facts on all of these.
Yeah.
All right. So for the extra sauce on this one, it's the entire crowd gets to sing "Sweet Caroline" in the 8th inning, and that's
true.
That's the white guy anthem. So I'd be down for that. I'd be excited about singing "Sweet Caroline" with a bunch of drunk Bostonians. Manual scoreboard. That's unique.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They have to get up there and change it. That's pretty neat. And yeah, I mean, like I said, they got they got some weird quirks at their field. There was a couple additional facts that I tried to put on here. Seats can face slightly different directions due to old design. That's just weird.
Yeah, they've like funny. Renovated parts of the stadium that now it makes other parts different. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like one of the American dreams is to go to Fenway Park and watch the Red Sox play. So that would interest me. I would definitely want to go there one day.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead and say, for the sake of time, I had Fenway Park at number 3. And so I'm right there with you with Fenway Park. It's the history behind it. It's like you said, it's a living artifact.
Yeah.
The history behind it is incomparable. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Green Monster, every player that has ever played there, well, I say every player that's wanted to, I guess, that's ever played there has signed their name on the wall behind the Green Monster, like kind of underground area. And names like Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, like those kind of names are on that wall. And so that's kind of a living artifact in terms of the baseball world. So yeah, I had Fenway Park at number 3. So suck on that. I will say, I know I had an honorable mention, but I do want to say I think I could put golf courses at number 1 through 5 on this, but I just stuck with one golf course. So, but at my number 5, I put the Roman Coliseum.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've got the Roman Coliseum at number 5. Obviously it's no longer used for sporting events, but man, back in the day, there was some craziness going on in that arena. Or I guess I could say Coliseum. And so obviously, like you said, if you're going, you kind of want to make a vacation out of it. I think that would be a cool vacation. Go to Europe, and see the Roman Colosseum and make a little vacation out of it. So I've got the Roman Colosseum coming in at number 5.
Well, there's not a whole lot of diversity on this list because I
Oh, you
had it
got it?
at
Dang.
number I had it at number 2.
Oh man, I thought I
Or
was being creative. Dang
I
it.
know, yeah, so did I. I
Yeah.
did not expect you to put that on here, but,
Yeah.
yeah, the Roman Colosseum, that would be sweet to see.
Yeah.
Get to go to freaking Italy and
Mhm.
just see where they used to hold crazy gladiator contests
Yeah,
and
they used to kill each other.
yeah, just public hangings, whatever they were feeling
Yeah.
that day, whatever the
Yeah.
emperor was itching to see, they
Yep.
did there. So, yeah, I mean that would be crazy to see. Just I feel like just standing outside of it and seeing
Yeah.
just the architecture itself. I mean, there's nothing like that in America that you can see, you know. Definitely
Mhm.
not in Texas that you can see as far as that kind
Yeah.
of just massive you know, scale and you know, cultural significance and things like that. So, yeah, the Roman Colosseum. That's my number 2.
Yeah. Well, and the architecture without the technology. Like today you see
Yeah,
some architecture and it's like, wow, that's impressive, but it was the technology that
right.
architects have
It was
nowadays is
it was built
crazy.
around 70 or 80 AD. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
year 70 or 80. It's been a little bit.
Yeah. All right, number 4 for me
Yeah.
is it's more so I guess this is kind of cheating, but it's more so the event that I'd like to go to more than the venue that I would like to go to.
Okay.
But at number 4, I have the Kentucky Derby, horse racing. And I'm assuming by your reaction, you also have the Kentucky Derby on there.
This is crazy. Okay, here's the deal. Did you? Because I was like, oh, I want to go see the Kentucky Derby, so I immediately thought of that. But did you look at the different venues that they have the Kentucky Derby at?
I did not know they had different venues.
Yeah, so I looked into it a little bit, and one of them's called the Churchill Downs.
Yes.
One of them's called Keeneland, from what I understood. So I think
Okay.
they have the Derby at Keeneland as well.
Really?
And I've heard that I just did some Redditing, some research online,
Mhm.
and the people are saying that Keeneland is the one to see. If you go to a derby once in your life, go to Keeneland.
Really?
It's in Lexington, Kentucky. It
Yeah.
opened in 1936. But like there's just some really cool cultural stuff, and it just seems like a lot more like different vibe and pace and culture than a lot of these other venues. And it's
Interesting.
yeah, they say that it was more worth going to than the Churchill Downs. So I don't know. I've never been to either, but
Yeah.
I would like to go to one. And apparently Keeneland's the one to go to. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm interested in. Yeah.
Well, I've heard Churchill Downs, but I've never heard the other one. And I did not
I
know
hope I'm
that.
pronouncing that right. It's
Yeah.
Keeneland.
Yeah, that's probably right. Keeneland. Yeah.
Keeneland.
I don't know. So what number did you have Kentucky Derby?
4.
You had it at 4 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that it's one of those I bet there's a lot of people out there. We started out the episode with most overrated sports event. I bet there's a lot of people out there that say the Kentucky Derby is overrated. I don't think it is. I think it's pretty awesome. I
Yeah.
think it's cool that people get dressed up and it's a fun race. And horse racing is kind of one of those betting things that you can do. Put some money down on a horse and see what happens. So
And it
and
seems
horses are
that's
phenomenal like
athletes.
creatures.
Yeah.
It's impressive what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems more like that's one of those things that you would go to for more like atmosphere and experience than just
Yeah.
watching the competition. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it that is like a vacation in itself type of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool to see.
Well, I had Fenway Park at number 3. So what did you have at number 3?
All right, I am going over to London for my number 3, and it is Craven Cottage.
Tell me what that is.
Craven Cottage. It is the home of Fulham FC.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's a football club in London.
Football.
Yeah, football. But yeah, so it's just a cool. Like I said, I did a little research when we decided to do this topic, and I knew I wanted to go see a Premier League soccer stadium, football stadium, and I did a lot of research on all of them, and I feel like Craven Cottage in London is the one that I want to go to. It's right off the River Thames. It seems it kind of like Keeneland with the Kentucky Derby. It seems a little more intimate and like local and like deeply rooted in a little bit of the same way in Fenway, like deeply rooted in the culture of the area, you know? So that that just seems like it just seemed like a really cool time to me. The architecture of the place is really cool. I mean, it was built in 1890 or opened in 1896. There's just a lot of cool stuff going on. It's still active, and so I wanted to see Craven Cottage. There's an actual cottage inside the stadium as well. That's apparently pretty neat to go check out. So
Well,
seems like a
there you
nice
go.
cozy option. And yeah, so Craven Cottage. There
Yeah.
we go.
I was looking at some football stadiums. In my opinion, they looked, like a normal stadium. But Craven Cottage, I'm not familiar with that one, so I might have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, I had Fenway at number 3, so I'm going to go to my number 2,
All right.
and this one is cheating a little bit, because it's already happened, and
Okay.
it only happened once. Okay, so the 2011 Carrier Classic was a college basketball game played on the deck of the USS Carl Vinson. So North Carolina basketball versus Michigan State played outdoors on the deck of this massive American Navy ship. And it is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in sports. They
That sounds pretty awesome.
they played on November 11th in 2011. So 11/11/11. And
Okay.
they both had special uniforms. It was just one game, special game. They wore, North Carolina obviously had their baby blues, but it was like a camo baby blue. And then Michigan State had obviously their dark green, Spartan green, and it was like a camo as well. So they both had camo uniforms. And if I'm not mistaken, I could pull the picture real quick, but I believe all of the fans were like service men and women, and they were
Oh,
on the
really?
deck of this giant ship. And it's one of the coolest sports venues that's ever happened. It obviously hasn't happened again, but to play basketball outdoors in a live, real college basketball game between two powerhouse college basketball programs is pretty crazy. So 2011 Carrier Classic, it's crazy. Look up pictures of that. There's a sun.
Yeah,
There's a one
definitely.
picture that like the sun is setting behind the ship, and they're playing basketball while it's setting on the oceans in the background. It's crazy how they got it done and they accomplished it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 2011, that's kind of cheating because it's already happened. But I would have liked to have gone to the 2011 Carrier Classic basketball game on the USS Carl Vinson.
That is pretty sweet. Yeah, I did not know that happened, so I'll have to look that up. All right, since you did one that has already happened, then
Yeah.
I am gonna say an honorable mention that I was thinking of, but I didn't do it because it's already happened.
Okay.
And that honorable mention, before I get to my number one, would be the old Boston Garden.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
sweaty, disgusting
Yeah.
100-degree Boston
Probably
Garden.
no AC in there. Yeah.
No, I think it's famous for no AC.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that would be crazy to go see a game where Bill Russell and
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird and
Mm-hmm.
all those legends played. So that would have been a lot of fun, especially
Yeah.
to catch like a game between Magic and Larry on that floor.
Yeah. Right.
Would have been crazy.
Yeah. You
So
could
yeah,
throw old Yankee Stadium into that.
yeah,
Like the
all
history
those
behind
ones.
Yankee Stadium and all
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, getting into my number one. It's pretty basic, not gonna lie, but it's Madison Square Garden, baby.
Is it?
It's the Mecca.
Yeah.
It's New York. Stars are out. It's the world's most famous arena for a reason. and it's the home of the New York Knicks, and I kind of consider myself a bit of a closeted Knicks fan. I do have a little bit of Knicks merch around my house. I have been to New York before, but I have not been to Madison Square Garden, so I'd like to make a trip back and maybe catch a Knicks game one day. Shout out to Brunson. I don't know. I need to check their playoff stats because I think they're having a bit of a rough go of it. But yeah, Madison Square Garden, man. I mean, all the greats in the NBA have had their game at Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? When Jordan brought back the Jordan 1s and dropped 50 points or whatever it was in his last year on the Bulls is iconic. I think it was his favorite place to play. I mean, it's just cool. I mean, I love New York City. I don't know if I'd ever want to live there now that I have a wife and kids, but maybe in another life as a bachelor, I could have envisioned myself as a city rat in New York. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that just brings out the best in people. Maybe not the best in the Knicks, but the best in their competition.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I got Madison Square Garden. I mean, it's the Big Apple. It's everything I would want to see if I was watching a basketball game. It's the environment that I want to be in. So yeah, I got the Mecca, Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Yeah. I thought about putting that on there. And I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't been, obviously, and I haven't done any research. And I'm sure I'm wrong, but I feel like it's just another arena to me. The fact that it is, I think it goes with Fenway Park a little bit and how it's like historically awesome, but I don't see any other reason other than this is Madison Square Garden, right? But like I said, it might be a completely different feel and it might be awesome in there. And I might, if I'm in New York and I have a chance to go to Madison Square Garden, I'm going to go. It's not like I don't want to go. But at my number one, I have, like I said earlier, golf courses could be numbers 1 through 5 for me just because they're so beautiful. But I have Augusta National Golf Club where the Masters is held.
Okay.
I think it is one. I mean, obviously, I haven't been, but it's got to be one of the most well manicured spots on earth. Like, not just golf courses, but of all, it's got to be the greenest grass, the most precise, precise edging on the flower beds, the prettiest trees, the best trimmed shrubs. Like, there's not going to be sand out of the sand traps. There's not going to be mulch out of the flower beds on the grass. Like, it is pristine. It is phenomenal on TV and in pictures. So at my number one, I've got Augusta National Golf Club, where the Masters is played. I mean, it's obviously the prettiest golf course there is. Pebble Beach is up there with it, right on the coast. And then Paynes Valley. I don't know if you've heard of Paynes Valley, but it's Tiger Woods golf course, right outside of Branson, Missouri, and it's pretty phenomenal as well. But I've got Augusta National Golf Club coming in as my most. I want to go see that place more than any other sports venue. So
nice.
There you have it.
You are a sucker for some well manicured grass.
I do like some well manicured grass. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. Working on my own. I'm working on my own yard, but
nice.
it's a project for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The Sports Extravaganza, the Dwight Howard episode, the Lakers edition Dwight Howard episode.
Yeah. There you
episode 39. We covered a little flag rookie of the year. We went deep into the NBA. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Little flag rookie of the year, and you kind of hating on the All-Star weekend. I don't know what that was about, but
that's a waste of time.
You don't like it. NBA playoffs recap, and then the inevitable, never-ending LeBron-Jordan debate. What are some other debates that you think are never going to end?
That are never going to end, like is
ketchup
there
versus mustard or something like that, like something crazy.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
That.
I was still thinking sports, but yeah, you're right.
Like, I don't. Apple versus Android, or
I think Apple's got that one, right?
like, well, depends on who you ask. Sony, like PlayStation versus Xbox, like that, like LeBron Jordan is just the debate of sports. That's just what you do. You just debate it because
Messi,
you're not going to change people's minds or anything like that. It is definitely not a debate because LeBron is number one. And then our top 5 sports venues. What are your top 5 sports venues? Is LeBron better than Jordan? Tell us in the chat. Who do you have winning the NBA Finals? Congratulations to Cooper Flag. Thank you for boosting the MFFL mood around the Yada Yada podcast because it was getting low. We did need it. So that's all we got for the Dwight Howard Laker edition episode. Yada Yada episode 39. We'll see you later.
That's it. Peace.